All right, all right, all right. This is the Diamond Geezers with Vin, Carlos, and yours truly, Ray. Pete has decided to. Where has Pete gone? He's in Japan. Pete is in Japan scouting for new geezers.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. Geezers International.
Yeah. And as I was just doing this, Pete just texted us saying, "Are you guys on yet?" I don't know if that means, can somebody respond to him and say we're on? Pete, we're on. Feel free to join.
You just get a picture of Pete and then have him up on the phone.
Right, in an airplane. Good morning, everybody. We are the Diamond Geezers, and we're here on Saturday, April 11th with episode 69. No jokes. And we are going to move forward with our typical format. Some of you have reached out to us saying, well, what happened to themes and stuff? It's not themes. We're doing Mets during the week, past week, Yankees in the past week, and then around the horn. And as for the other people that have just made stupid comments, calling us clowns. I mean, the one I love most is when they say, oh, who would want you guys? Why do you guys even have a podcast? I don't know. Ask the 31,000 people that follow us. Get your own podcast and shut up.
Hey, I told him, just debate. You want to get on and debate? You got a point? Let us know.
Yeah, we'll put you on.
We'll
as long as you try to debate like a civilized person.
It is always keyboard cowboys, but if you really have a take that you think combats something we said,
exactly,
we're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah. Be a tough guy on live on air with us.
Listen, Mike Francis doesn't have a lot to do nowadays, so if he wants to troll us, I'm sorry. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Yeah, that's okay. I like Francis.
I'm just teasing. Yeah. First name that popped into my head.
I like him most of the time. Some of the times it's too much to take. All right, then. So soccer to us.
Ray, we'll start with the Met notes. Oh,
I'll start the Met notes
today.
Okay.
The reason why is because out of both teams having not great weeks, I actually have a fun fact that I learned watching the Met game this past week. It actually came up during the Yankee game. A's catcher Shea Langoliers is named after Shea Stadium.
Yes.
His dad, you're supposed to act like you didn't know this.
Oh, sorry. Really? Wow.
That's how big
his dad was a huge.
Wait. Pause, Vin. Let us just make an observation real quick. That is how bad and unhappy and sad the Met news is that we're starting out with an opposition player named at the stadium that does no longer exist.
That's correct.
You're right, Carl. That's how bad the week is.
Like I said, not good news this week for either team. Mets at this point 7-7, 3-3 over the last week. They completed the sweep over the Giants last weekend, winning the last two games there. Lost 2 or 3 versus Arizona. Last night lost game 1 versus the A's. Their issues, and we'll get into the Yankees as well. Very similar to the Yankee issues. Wow.
Last night's game featured a former Met.
I was going to say the twisting of the knife was the play of Jeff McNeil, who during the game he had. Who was it? I think he had There was a story that he had to tell his son, whose son likes the apple. His 3-year-old son likes when the apple goes up. He had to tell him, well, that's not a good thing for us anymore if that happens. So he had to finesse that, but he actually came to get you guys with the bat and the glove. He made a couple of stellar defensive plays in the field, but again, very similar issues. Just hitters struggling all up and down the lineup for the Mets. That it's easier, and I'll do the same thing for the Yankees to show you the hitters that are actually hitting. Robert batting this was going into last night's games, batting .333 with a .480 on base percentage. Soto, obviously before he got hurt, batting .355 with a .412. Vientos, who's actually started to struggle, .323 with a .353 on base percentage. And the last guy, decent, Alvarez, .265 with a $359 OBP. Everybody else, Bichette hitting .228, Lindor $157, Benj $108, Polanco $200. Beatty maybe a respectable 273, but with a 267 OBP. Guys aren't getting on base. Guys aren't hitting, wasting. Other than Peterson, who, Ray, I want to get your thoughts on Peterson because there was a lot of talk during last night's game about Christian Scott and how he's been doing in the minors.
You mean the guy we picked up for our fantasy league?
That is correct. That is correct. The proactive thinking, we did grab him, but again, very similar. Holmes, McLean, Senga, very solid. Peralta has not had a solid ERA. It's 4.8, but he's actually pitched better. And you know that first game was the blowout, and he gave up 4 runs in 5 innings. He hasn't been the ace they hoped for. But Peterson, that ERA over 6, he has not looked good. The bullpen, Garcia shouldn't be pitching. He's got an ERA over 8.
God, this is so depressing.
That's what I mean. It's just what it is. Love Lady actually got his ERA under 4 after last night's outing, so that's pretty solid.
But he has the best name in all of baseball.
Oh yeah, yes, he's Richard Love Lady. For all you guys, you can fill in, the alternative name for Richard. Luke Weaver, with an ERA over 3. You guys, might be learning a little bit about what the Yankees saw last year. He can run very hot and cold, but the rest of the Met bullpen has been solid, but a handful of guys. But these are very similar. The Yankee notes are going to be almost identical to the Met notes in terms of 1-loss record for the week, how many people are hitting, how many are not, they're pitching, etc. What are your thoughts, Ray, about Peterson? Because he has the numbers don't look good, but more importantly, he does not look good with the eye test.
Yeah,
what do you?
He's got a. I don't know if it's a maturity thing or not.
Really?
But he's a lefty, so I'm always more patient with lefties. I think we all have to be more patient with lefties. But he's now 3 or 4 years into this.
Oh, and by the way, I got questions from Pete that I have to ask.
Sure, he's got to get over the hump at this point in his life. Right. I will say it's funny. I'm always big on when young players or players are sort of coming into their own, when they have a kid, they get married and they have a kid, they sort of get settled. I observe that, and I find that more often than not, they tend to perform better. I think sort of like, when you have a kid, you feel pressure. Okay, I got to go to work on time and be the good employee. That's the observation I had with him when he had his kid last year. Maybe it was the year before. He was pitching lights out. Actually, I think it was last year. And then for some reason, you have a choice. You could either continue doing that or regress back to the person that you are. And I'm just concerned that he's just this person that can't get his act together pitching wise. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's maturity or whatever. I think I would give him 2 more starts. And if he doesn't do well, he's in the bullpen or he's in the minors, and then maybe trade him. It's enough with Peterson. It's too bad because the Mets need a lefty in the rotation.
Well, I was going to say, does that mean Manaea gets a shot back in the rotation?
They'll probably give Manaea a shot. But Manaea can he break 90 miles an hour? I just don't see Manaea staying.
Maybe if he falls down, not throwing the ball.
I mean, that's
throw hard. He just has to know how to have to pitch. You have to change the speeds and angles.
That's true. Either. That's true. But he does that, and they hit him. They hit him doing that too for $25 million. Which I'm going to get to this in a second, Pete. So let's. Want
to go through Pete's? I'll go through Pete's questions.
Hold on.
Here we go. Some of them are funny.
Oh, you want to do a Pete now?
Let's do a Pete. He said that.
I have a list of things to talk about the Mets. We'll talk about.
No, he's not a single Met question. Yankee question. It's
all
first
Mets.
Question. Why do the Mets suck?
I just
write them down. Write them down.
All right.
Second question. How long before Mendoza gets fired?
Okay.
Third question. Why is Cohen crying like a 12-year-old? How come nobody took my free tickets? I don't know what that is. So
I know what it is. I talked to him about it.
Why did the Mets move the games to the afternoon when the Yankees stayed playing at night?
I wondered about that. I'm like, the Yankees don't care about their fans?
And his last question, the most important question.
Yeah.
Why do we drive on parkways and park on driveways?
Right.
And there we go.
We can skip the last one. He's trying to be funny there. That's a little bit of a dad.
Oh, you mean the other ones he was being serious?
No, he's serious on the other ones.
He's serious with that.
Right.
I mean, why did the Mets start? That we don't have that long of a podcast.
I want to say this. We'll answer his questions, but you know what? Next time, show up and ask the questions. Don't be in Japan texting us questions. We got a show to do. Okay, that's what I got to say. All right, I'll weave those answers to those questions in with everything. So, their record 7-7. You would say you see it. All right, 7-7 is not horrible, right? No. What's the Yankees record?
The Yankees are 8-5.
Okay, so the Yankees. The Mets are 7-7, and you say it's not the end of the world. But as I said last week, when you play the bad teams, you have to beat the bad teams. And the Mets, outside in Diamondbacks, I don't even know if they can be considered bad, but they're not playoff necessarily.
They're not playing well, but I don't call them bad.
And I know, Paulus, you're big on Pittsburgh. I am too. But that Pittsburgh lineup, Pete and I didn't recognize a single player in that lineup except O'Neill Cruz, and when opening day. So you have the Pirates. You have
they're
the
8-5 too, buddy.
The
Pirates are 8-5.
Okay, all right. But they went on and played who? I can't remember.
They're playing. I think they're playing the Reds now. I think
I can't remember. The Cardinals. Cardinals are on a youth movement. They're going to be a terrible team.
They're also 8-5.
Yes, and maybe it's a bad rep. Maybe it's a bad rep that like the teams like the A's and the Pirates get because they've been bad for so long, and maybe now this year they're turning it around. Okay, but they're going to play. The Mets are going to leave. After playing the A's, they're going out to Los Angeles to play the Dodgers. All right. And that's when you say to yourself, oh, shit. Oops, sorry. Oh, poop. Okay. We're 7-7. And if they lose 2 out of 3 against the A's, that means they're going to go out to LA with an 8-9 record. No, 8. I can't.
If they lose this series, they'd be 8. Yeah, they'd be
one more.
If they go 1-1, they'd be
8-8. They 8-8 going out to play the Dodgers and good teams, some good teams. So that's a concern. So why do they suck? I think that they don't. I think it's the cold weather. I know it sounds silly. I think it's for both teams. It's the cold weather.
It's a lot of teams. It's for a lot of teams.
Yeah, so I didn't know. I wanted to do that analysis before we talked. Most of the teams that are playing in the cold weather, do they have like tough starts?
Not
like the Red Sox.
The hitters do. I mean, you saw. Look at who was the outfielder for the A's last night. He looked like he had a burqa on.
Right.
Like you could it's definitely affecting the hitters in some ways.
But then again, I see the A's who are out in sunny California. They come and they beat us last night. So I don't know.
And again, a lot better of a team than people like you. I think you hit on the head, Ray. These historically over the last decade or so, these teams were bad. The A's 6-7 right now, so they're
better.
There's a lot of talent on that team. There's
I'm not being fair, but fair enough. But still, the Mets are expected to be in the playoffs. Like they are a playoff team, hands down. That's right, and they're not playing like that. McNeil, had you done this more when you played with the Mets, you'd be a Met. So screw you. Lindor, here's what I don't understand. I mean, these are the reasons why the Mets are bad, by the way, Pete. Lindor, why, if the guy doesn't hit well in April, historically, ever, okay, then you add to that the operation that takes a couple of months to recover from fully, okay? Why do you insist that you have to bat him leadoff? I don't understand why you can't say, okay, listen.
Well, who would they bat leadoff?
I don't care because he's batting 150. He looks terrible as a leadoff hitter.
I think he hit it though. I don't think he's healthy.
Here's the thing, Ray. He's not getting on. Like you could look at a Grisham.
Yeah,
Grisham at least has a 354 OBP.
Yeah.
Right now Lindor is like 306.
Yeah, and what are we worried about hurting his feelings? I mean, you call him in the off, say, listen, until you struggle in April, we got to win games. You're recovering from an operation. We're going to bat you 7th or 8th. That's it. Done. And it's done. It's not like you have to ask permission. He's the player. You're the manager. That's who you tell him you're betting 7th. If he cries about it, good luck with that with the press. Right?
So you take a start. Wait. I can't let that go. I can't. If Pete wouldn't let that go, I'm not going to let that go. I don't care his question. You don't take someone like Lindor and bat him 8th or 9th.
I didn't say 8th or 9th. I said 7th. 7th, and I say 7th. But I'm saying I say 7th because traditionally, old school, 7th is always considered the second leadoff spot in a lineup. So 7th. No, it's 7th.
Okay. Regardless.
Yeah.
It's an insult. And the guy, I'm telling
you. We're winning or insulting?
I'm just saying he's going to be insulted. Do you want to insult him? He's trying to play through pain to help the team.
And
sometimes
we're losing.
You have to help him to play.
And he's not doing anything
against himself.
Would I have given him a week, Carl? Yeah, I would have given him a week in the leadoff. And then I would have said, okay, he's just repeating the same thing over. So you sit him down.
We don't know if he is really hurt, but I suspect he's playing hurt.
Even if he isn't, Carl, he doesn't hit well in April. Like he's terrible in April.
But he's still got to play in April.
Yeah, but it's like
fine, but then batting 7th.
Historically terrible.
He can play every day.
But he's also the thing, guys.
Julio Rodriguez, a fantastic player, sucks in the first half.
He's also making dumb plays.
Well, that's a little different. That's a whole half.
Lindor is also making dumb. Last night, I think I texted it in the chat. I thought the Mets should have challenged. He looked like he got his hand in back at third base before. The guy looked like he tagged him on his hip, and they didn't challenge it. That was a huge swing in that game. But he go to the game. It was against the Cardinals. We talked about that last week with getting picked off and forgetting how many outs there were. So not only are you struggling at the plate, you're then bringing that out on the field. So I think Ray, it wouldn't even surprise me if you just say, hey, look, take a couple of days off. Clear your head.
No, that's not. No, honestly, I don't think that's going to.
Maybe he has to clear his head. Just what's in his head.
Not that they have done that. I don't think that's going to help. I think that he just doesn't hit well in April. You say, I promise you're going to go back into your leadoff spot when you start hitting in May, whenever you. But you seem to be a little hurt. That's my opinion. You could disagree, but you know what? I need to win. We need to win games. And if you're a team player, if you're really a captain, you're going to do this for the team. You're going to bat 7th. And if he complains, he's going to complain just to me, which I could take as a manager. But if he wants to be a whiny, then he's going to complain to the press, and the press will eat him up alive. They'll say, because you can see the anti-Lindor.
All you folks, that's the old school. The younger geezer wants to give him a timeout.
That's why I'm giving you the geezer.
The old geezer says no timeout. You sit, you go. Go to the corner and bat 7th. That's it.
We need that Sean Connery untouchable speech. Right? Like, hey, listen,
that's the geezer take. Yeah,
here's the key thing, right? Soto's not in the lineup. He makes a difference to this team.
He does.
Of course.
I agree.
He really, really does. And it would be different. Seriously. With him in this team.
Lindor was
Lindor's still hitting 150. So I don't know.
Well, there are moments is what I'm trying to say. It's like
all right, so let me move on quick. So Benj, if you saw the press conference with Stearns, he got very testy when it was suggested that, well, is it possible Benj might go down? He was like, what? He was like insulted by that. And he said, no, he's fine. Basically, he's saying he's fine. He can play up there. I don't know if the kid is fine.
How patient are you guys willing to be with Carson Benj at this level?
Yeah, we're going to be patient. Carson's a part of this team. We believe he's going to help us win games this year. The nice thing about Carson and what he brings to the team is that he can contribute in a variety of different ways. So it's not all on his bat. He's a good defender. He's a good base runner. And I think that allows someone to be able to work through things at the plate a little bit when they're contributing to wins in other ways.
Is there a point that you guys might hit where you say, okay, we do have to send him back to AAA to get some confidence at the plate?
Okay, we're not discussing that at all. I think our view is Carson's going to figure this out, and he's a good player, and we're happy to have him on the team.
And now he's not playing every day. He plays, I guess the majority of the games in a week, but he's not playing every day. He's not producing. So
he's stealing bases. He's got 4 steals. He's playing okay defensively.
So now he's on you. So he's on you, Taylor. He's on you.
108.
Taylor. He's the guy that. He's the guy that
108 with a 214 on base percentage.
Yeah. Say that again. One more time. Say it one more time.
He's batting 108 with a 214 on base percentage. That's not getting it done.
No, that's not getting it done.
It's not a ridiculous question to ask if a guy's first barely a month of baseball.
It's not even 2 weeks.
Ready Right. Is he ready? Maybe he's not ready. And I don't know.
You're saying that was a crazy question to ask?
No, it's it's not unreasonable. No,
right. It's a reasonable question to ask.
I think the response
and Stern's response,
incredulous. We're like, how dare you ask that question?
That's exactly it.
You can handle it like I trust the guys on the field to handle this. I trust the office to handle it. They'll know if it's time or whatever. I don't feel like I should make that decision. Or he even can say, I hope not. I hope he turns it around. There's different ways he could have handled it very smoothly. I don't understand it.
Did you see? I mean, I don't know if you saw, but take a look. You'll see he bristles at that question.
Very strange. Very strange.
So that's another reason. That's reason 84 why the Mets suck right now. Garcia and Lovelady. Garcia should be cut. And there's guys, they have guys pitching in the minors. Yeah. And by the way, the issue with the Mets is not the pitching, folks. I hear people say it's the pitching. It's not. I know what you're talking about. Peterson, outside of Peterson, the pitching's fine.
That's correct.
Garcia, the bullpen, the bullpen in those 5-3 games where the Mets are behind. This is where Mendy is choosing to bring in guys like Garcia and Lovelady, and they stink. Yeah. They stink. Yeah, I'm sorry. They're just not performing, and they have arms in the minors.
Weaver 8.5 ERA rate, right. 8.5.
Yeah, and here's the last reason why the Mets suck. Weaver clearly, the Yankees are doing it to the Mets again. You sent us a manager that's not a good manager. You're sending us now a bullpen guy that's not a good bullpen guy. You send us a closer that I will see if he can close us.
He's looked okay so far.
You're undermining our organization. We see what you're doing.
Are you giving Cashman the credit of being the behind the scenes puppet master, running the Yankees and the Mets?
I am.
Yeah, you don't understand, Ray. The name of that narrative, it's the enemy within. Yes. That's what they are now.
So that's the answer to Pete's Mets suck. Pete then asked, when will Mendy be fired? He'll be fired. He'll be fired by the All-Star break if they're still at 500. I've said that from the beginning.
Now, what if, Ray, we get to the end of May and they're 6 games under 500?
He'll be fired then.
So the time frame depends on how bad. So you think 500 at the break, they make the move?
I mean, if
worse than that, he could be gone sooner.
If Stearns bristles at a question like that in April, then that means he's already feeling the heat, and that's my. Oh,
he's already buckling on the pressure.
I think so. Yeah.
Because if that means also it could give you a look into his mindset where he thinks, no, there is enough talent here. So stop asking me if there's enough talent. It's here. So if the numbers aren't there record wise, he's got a point. If he says the players are good enough, there's only one other way to point. It's the coaching, and then that's the manager.
Right.
He's setting up a natural flow to that if things don't turn around.
Yeah. And I want to finish with the Mets segment.
Go ahead. No, please.
Sooner than later. Cohen and the free tickets.
Oh, the ticket thing. I have no idea what that is.
I talked to Pete.
Tell us, what is this about?
Pete's like, shut up, Cohen. You're whining about guys fans not using up the ticket offer, the offer of getting free tickets. It was around 1,000 people that were offered the chance to get free tickets when they switched the PM game to the afternoon game against the Diamondbacks, the first 2 games. Dealing with Pete's other question about why did they do that?
Yeah,
I think that Cohen was trying to be nice. He was saying, I don't want our fans to be subjected to the cold or the players. Let's move it up to 4. It could be seen as a thoughtful thing. Okay, so the free ticket offer goes out, and you have to affirmatively choose to get the free tickets. You have to say, yes, I'd like the free tickets, but then you have to use them. And his claim is that 58% of the people that acquired the free tickets did not go to the game, did not use them.
Oh,
they're not using it. And that's what pissed them off. It's like, wait a second, then don't affirmatively accept the tickets. Let somebody else accept it. You see what I'm saying? I don't know exactly how that whole system worked, but he was just pissed off because that's what happened. So Pete's point is like, get over it. And my point is, I see his point. I see Cohen's point to some degree. Why are you doing it? Why are you choosing to take the free ticket and not use the free ticket? So I don't know. And
now, you didn't take the free
know.
ticket because you switch it to another game, or it had.
I don't know. That's the. I don't know exactly how it worked.
Okay.
All I know is that conceptually, you have to choose it, and then he was complaining that nobody that 58%.
Also, to be honest with you, people work during the week, so when you move a game,
but then why choose it? But then why choose the free ticket thing?
Why? I agree with you. If it were me, I would. You know, I mean, for some people, I get the whole weather part of it, but if people are working, getting to an afternoon game, that requires, changing around schedules. So, but I do hear your point. Then don't take the ticket. Let somebody else who can do it take it.
Yeah. There's a couple of things too. People could also have been like, well, I don't know if I can make it. I'll try. So if it's free, I'll get the tickets anyway. Then people try, maybe thought they could sell the ticket, make a couple of bucks.
Maybe.
Value.
It's a high percentage, though.
Pete thought maybe it was confusing.
Yeah.
Pete thought maybe it was confusing. Like the actual whatever popped up that people that people didn't know that choosing it, they had to then pick a game to go to, and when they saw, they said, "Oh, I can't pick a game now." Again, I don't know how exactly.
Yeah, so it didn't have to be that game; it could have been any game.
That game.
I don't think so.
Oh, interesting.
Again, I wish I could be more informed about this, but he's the one that brought up the question, so I'm trying to answer the question.
Maybe we'll get an answer, Ray, and we'll put a note on the overlay.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. While you guys are talking with the Yankees, I'll look up the answer.
All right.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm a Yankee fan. They obviously don't care about me in the cold, so I really don't know how to respond to that because the Yankees are like, we're the Yankees. You'll freeze your ass.
Right,
that's
and then why driveways, why parkways, or what was the question? Why do we drive on parkways and parking driveways? The answer for the first part, why do we drive on parkways? You have to read the book about Robert Moses called The Power Broker. That's the answer.
There you go.
Why did he call them parkways? You'll see the answer there. Okay. I'm not going to give it because I think the book's a great book, and I'm going to force people to buy the book. So there you go.
Okay. And not that you get any money from that.
I get I get zero.
He ended his notes.
I just admire that it's a great book in the history of New York. One of the best I've ever read.
Yeah, not a great. From what some of the stuff I've seen, not a great history.
Oh no, that's a whole racist thing to the thing.
Yeah,
but it's important to understand.
A lot of it had to do.
But that's important. That's important to understand.
Bronx Expressway and that area,
cutting through splitting the Bronx. Yeah, but that's important to know about the history of New York in that sense. That's why it's a great book, and it's a long book. But
he closed out. I want these answers. I'll be checking the podcast for them as soon as I figure out what day and time I'm in. So there goes there you go. Pete, you got your answers. I'm sure you've already read the book. If you haven't,
me, we should have gone live. That way he could have seen it on the plane because he's on a plane right now. So,
is that where he is?
Yes, he's on a plane to Japan. Yeah.
All right, and maybe if they saw him,
I thought he was there already.
If they saw us, if they heard us talking on the plane, they might do a fourth landing.
Actually, he's probably still online at the TSA.
His plane left at 6 a.m., so it's 9:12 right now. So he's still on the plane. It's a long plane ride.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So now, Ray,
the Yankees? What are the Yankees? How was our Yankees?
Yankees.
How was our Yankee week?
2-4 for the week. The Yankees are 8-5. 2-4 for the past week. Lost their first series of the season to the A's. They lost 2 out of 3. They had split the last 2 with the Marlins and lost game 1 last night against Tampa, their old nemesis. That was Luis Gil's return. Starting there first because the Yankees starting pitching has been fantastic to begin the season. He labored through his start last night. He was all over the place with his arm slider he couldn't control. His fastball, it looked like it was topping out at 95, 96. He usually sits at 98, 99. But he kept them in that game for as long as he could. But what the problem is very similar to the Mets. 2 people on it. Actually, it's worse, Ray, than the Mets because only 2 people on the Yankees are actually carrying their weight. And one of those 2 is not Aaron Judge at this point. The 2 are Giancarlo Stanton batting .326 with a .370 on base percentage and a stolen base, by the way. first one in years. And Ben Rice, and this was, again, people going into last night's games. Ben Rice hitting 324 with a 479 on-base percentage. The day before, when they got one hit by the A's, he's the only one who got the hit. Last night, he hits a pinch hit home run when he comes into the game. So other than that, I'll go through it. Bellinger batting 238. Chisholm 186. Grisham 162. Ray's favorite Yankee, McMahon, Ray 069. Caballero 135. Wells 167. Judge 222. And the thing that's alarming so far about Judge, everybody keeps saying he can do this for a month, which he can. I'm not saying that this is bad. The one thing that jumped off last night was this last year he walked 18% of the time. This year it's in half. It's only 9, which means he is definitely, and you could see it in last night's game, and I've seen it, Carlos, I'm sure you have. He seems to be chasing a lot more than he had been in the past. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the ABS, because he was called out on strike 3 last night by the ABS, and he was visibly upset, but it was a strike based on the new system. So, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, they measured all the players because it's set to your height. So it's not like one zone for everyone. They base it. That's how some players who were listed at 6'2" are now 5'10".
Well, one of the things Michael Kay said in his broadcast, he said that the ABS system, and I don't know if it's done daily. I doubt it's done daily. I think they did it in spring training. The players had to go get measured for the ABS system.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And they had to do it, but they had to do it between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.
There's got to be a reason for that.
There is a reason, but
it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense when you think about when the games are played, right? So, Carl, do you want to say the reason? Good.
Yeah, you're actually a little shorter in the morning, and you actually
the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, you're taller in the morning. You're tall.
Okay.
Gravity pulls you down during the course of the day.
Yeah.
And you actually, are shorter. You measure your height in the morning as opposed to the evening. You're actually shorter in the evening.
Yes, this is actually
even though most of the games are played at night.
That's the funny thing about it. Why are you measuring them during the day in the morning when most of the games
obviously not that big of a margin, But
if it's not that big, then why make it from 10 to 12?
But it was
Ray, that's very specific. 10 to 12. It's like don't come in the morning.
That's what Michael Kay said.
Very specific.
Yeah.
So good.
Sorry. And again, no, very similar. I mean, at least Bellinger 365 on base percentage, Grisham 354. But Jazz 254, McMahon 250, Caballero 200, Wells 286, Judge 314. The Yankees are running more. Why they're, again, similarity to the Mets. It's their starting pitching. Schlittler 162, Weathers 281, Fried 1.35, even Warren the highest 3.07. And besides, he'll start last night. But now you go into your bullpen. And the difference between the Met bullpen and the Yankee bullpen is the guys the Yankees are counting on are Bednar constantly gets himself in and out of trouble. He's pitching to a 4.26 ERA, but he did the same thing in the WBC. He gets himself into trouble, then he bears down. Doval.
Yeah, you say, hey, wait until September comes and you have.
That's what I mean.
Armando.
You remember Dave Righetti?
No,
Righetti wasn't automatic out.
My worry is you keep playing with fire. You're gonna get burned off.
Dave Righetti fire his whole career.
Explain who Dave Righetti is to some people.
Supposed to be their setup man. Doval 8.31.
Hold on, Ben. Hold on. Let him explain who Dave Righetti is.
No, you gotta look him up. He's a great.
Who Dave Righetti is?
Yeah, great Yankee closer.
Rags.
He wasn't 1, 2, 3 innings at all.
And he pitched for the Yankees when in the 70s, 80s.
In the 80s. He threw a no-hitter against Boston.
Yeah, he started for a little bit.
Now, who did he strike out to end that game?
And his no-hitter? Oh, shit. Boggs?
Yes, it is. Great guess. It was Wade Boggs.
And then they moved him to the bullpen. I think that was the big surprise, right? They got the starter who pitches a no-hitter, and then they moved him to bullpen.
So. And he was very effective, but
he was effective closer.
But he got in and out of trouble all the time.
But that's not what you want as a closer. It wasn't,
No. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing. It's not like you could point to that Yankee team in the 80s and say, very successsul. You made the World Series in 81, and it was pretty much a down decade. You didn't make the playoffs again to the wild card in 95.
Okay.
So,
there was a bright spot or two. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, not their pitching. They're hitting, but not their pitching. Yeah. Dennis Rasmussen, Ed Whitson. We can go on and on with Candelaria.
Was it the man who pitches a no-hitter and still loses the game?
That's how. Who was that? Hawkins? Was that Andy Hawkins who did that?
Maybe. I think you're right.
Who pitched a no-hitter but lost. I mean, that's just how bad you can't have it worse than that. I mean, come on. But it's Duvall with an 8.31 ERA, Jake Bird 5.4. So these are guys the Yankees are counting on at that back end that are, again, the starting pitching has been doing so well. It has absolutely masked what the hitting is not doing, particularly the bottom of that lineup. It's not even the bottom third. It's actually at this point the bottom half of that lineup is just not producing.
Isn't that team hitting 200 overall?
The
team batting average is 200, isn't it? 201.
I haven't looked, but if it's that, I'd be shocked, Ray, because there's most people I'm looking at.
I saw that this morning.
I wouldn't be shocked.
You wouldn't be shocked. You wouldn't be shocked.
No, I would not be shocked. No, I'd be shocked if it was 200. I would think it'd be under that.
Oh,
because there's so many guys hitting 135, 167, 162. They're not even at 200. So I don't know if Rice and Stanton and Rosario has been doing okay in a utility role, but. And Carlos, I know we talked about this in pre-production. You want to talk about a few managerial moves that Boone made that specifically the JC Escarra one.
JC Escarra one, right?
Where he doesn't pitch it for him, and he is quickly blown away to end that game when I think Goldschmidt was still on the bench.
Goldschmidt, it was so just so easily defensible. I mean, look, Escarra, it's classic righty lefty matchup, except Escarra barely has any time in the bigs, and he's a backup freaking catcher. At that moment, with the game on the line, it's been so. I mean, you also had Ahmed Rosario on the bench, but to me, the go-to move is Goldschmidt. He's the veteran bat. He knows exactly what he has to get done. Even when you question afterwards, the person asks, "Well, why didn't you go with the lefty?" He says, "Well, he doesn't have a lot. He's great, but he doesn't have a lot of experience." This is where I thought, a veteran bat would have assisted us, and he would have been fine. Instead, he's just doing bland lefty-righty matchup stuff, and he looked overmatched. He looked like he was swinging the wiffle ball bat, and it looked like he had no freaking clue. And it wasn't even that. It's not even like it was an extended at bat. He was fouling pitches off or anything like that. It was just almost 1, 2, 3, and you were done.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Yeah, thank you, Vin. What is Goldschmidt there for? I mean, he's the veteran back. Go ahead. Jesus Christ.
Sorry. And something, Ray, I wanted to point out, it's in the minors right now. I read an article this week that Dominguez had a great spring. Send him down so he could work on his defense, work on batting right-handed. And then what's the article this week? They were sitting him against lefties. So how does that help him progress and work on his right-handed hitting if you're going to sit him against lefties?
Maybe they decided that he's not going to play against lefties.
That was something someone brought up, but it had nobody. It's not been stated by anybody that they're just going to scrap him batting right-handed. But you're trying to figure out, and Boone defended the Escarra thing with, we're not facing a lot of lefties. I don't care who you're facing over the next week. In that moment, who is the best guy to put up at the plate? And Carlos is 100% correct. Goldschmidt would have been a hitter to put up in that moment. And he justifies it with who they're going to be facing over the next week. That's how I'm going to get guys in and out of the lineup. It's like, worry about winning the games you're in. If it's a health thing, that's different. You're not, but he's not talking about managing health. He's talking about managing simply righty lefties that they're going to be facing over the next week or so. That's why he'll if you want him to get at bats, Escara, send him to the minors. Let him start in the minors. He'll get plenty of at bats down there. Get a veteran backup who's used to not getting the at bats on a weekly basis, a daily basis, who you can put in. So again, and this goes to what we talked about in the offseason, it's the roster construction. You got a guy who's sitting there who doesn't have the experience to be a guy coming off the bench, but that's your guy coming off the bench. And it just doesn't make any sense.
And he's frustrating because then there's the Ahmed Rosario thing. He started him. I guess it just felt McMahon just couldn't watch McMahon anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it sounded like.
And he has this great 2 home run game, which is fine. He said it was a hunch, which is fine, but it's just baffling. You could make that stretch, but you can't in the moment try to manage to get your best bat out there.
Here's the thing: was it a hunch because it worked? See, I remember they said
Ahmad Rosario worked.
That's what I mean. They said it. If he goes against the analytics, it has to work because it can't be that they have this whole analytic this division and you're going against it. So if you go against it, it better work. So when it worked, because it did work that day, and Rosario, they had a triple last night, you can say I'm playing my hunch or I'm riding the hot hand because it's working. But when it doesn't work, then you get a flip story. You get we're facing all these righties or all these lefties.
Well, here's the thing. When you think in terms of your job as a manager, right? If you go with what management wants you to do and it doesn't work, then you say, it didn't work for us, right? You're not isolated. Yeah. But if you go against the grain and you try to do something that you think should be done and it doesn't work, then fingers are pointing at you. Management looks at you. So I think managers' inclination is they want to keep their jobs. They're a good employee, and I think Boone's one of those people. I'm going to be a good guy.
Boone's got to understand. I mean, he's practically bulletproof at this point, right? He got the 700 wins, and then it's they obviously love him. I mean, he's bulletproof at this point.
You don't think he'll get fired if the Yankees are below 500 at the All-Star break?
Unfortunately, no.
Well, they won't be. 500
the Yankees won't be below. They won't be below 500 anyway.
Because they do what
the Mets don't. They beat the bad teams, and the Mets don't.
Well, you know what the problem is too is right now we haven't figured out who the bad teams are yet.
The Rockies for sure are the bad.
But I will tell you something. What I think. I'm sorry, Vin. You need to wrap up.
No, go ahead.
I'll tell you one thing. I think, and I don't. This is more a feeling thing. I don't have the numbers or anything, but I feel like there's something I want to call WBC like a burnout, right? Because they go all out so early. Okay, and then you come back to the normal grind, and I don't know if it's an adrenaline thing. I don't know if it's just this is repercussions from going all out that you're going to hit a malaise or whatever. Ray, you are changing things during the show, and it's freaking me out.
Yeah. I've been wanting to go with this look when we have 3 of us.
Okay. Woo, dizzy.
Sorry.
We got Judge, right? I mean, another one, a Jazz.
Wells, look at Wells. Wells did well in the WBC and.
I'm trying to think who else. I think there's some kind of burnout factor. I would like to see about if this is happening to other players. Because
Wilyer Abreu seems to be his teams. Actually, Ray, when you brought up and Carlos said the Red Sox have the worst record right now in baseball at 4-9, and not too far behind them, the Tigers and the Mariners and the White Sox at 5-9. So we're still figuring out. I think some of the better teams they'll start rising, and some of these upstarts will fall. But I think teams like the Athletics in Pittsburgh, might be better than we anticipated. But Ray, to your point, like the Nationals don't look good, even though their record might not be the worst. When you watch them, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
What you're seeing.
So I don't know. I just think maybe teams. I like to see how teams who had a lot of representation during the Classic.
Well, the Venezuelan Eduardo Rodriguez is doing okay. So I guess since they won, there's no real hangover.
Right, when you win, right?
Everybody who lost.
But something's wrong. I mean,
Quintino's not hitting like. I mean, he was killing in the WBC. He is not hitting well at all.
Maybe more than. I mean, there's always like outliers, but I think somehow I just feel like it's related. I can't.
It's possible. Because remember, you're also your normal routine is out the window.
Your normal routine is
out now you got to ramp up for actual games because the guys you're facing for some of them who are not major leaguers coming back to play, that's it for them. Like that's their all. So you're getting 100%. You're just starting essentially. You just started your spring training. What was it?
Yep.
A week or two into their reporting, and now you have to ramp it up. I got to, Judge looks way off. I can't remember the last time I saw him swinging at so many. He just every Cone has said it. Girardi said it last night. It looks like he's guessing wrong.
And the ABS system was supposed to help him. Of all
Correct.
people.
He was one of the ones that was supposed to help. Yes.
The most. And
Chisholm, who's hitting who's hitting 186.
Yeah,
so apparently not.
It's weird. Yeah, no, it's weird. I somehow feel it's related somehow to the class. I mean, it's not helping, like it's contributing.
And look, Ray said it. Weather changes. It's cold. It's early. The WBC is a lot of. Let's see what we're talking in a couple of weeks. After a month of the season.
Yeah. So I got my answer. To go back to Cohen.
Yeah, go ahead.
I found the answer.
The
answer is that the Mets had moved their April 7th and April 8th games against Arizona from 7:10 to 4:10, and he did it because the cold weather. He was being thoughtful about the fans, but because it was such a short notice notification change, he announced that the original tickets would still be valid, and existing ticket holders would get a voucher for a future game from Monday to Thursday. Except there's a group of those tickets that a limited number, there was 1,000, that would be complimentary tickets and would have the code "thank you" on it. So if you chose to get that ticket, the thank you ticket, you would then have to go to one of the 410 games. It was free.
So the free ticket was one of you had to go to one of the Arizona games.
Right. Exactly. Right. So you got the free ticket to go to one of the Arizona. And what happened was 58% of those people that chose those tickets didn't go. And that's what got him angry. Yeah. That they took away seats from people that may have wanted to do that because it was more of a lottery system. That's what he was.
I honestly, I mean, I see Pete's point of, Mr. Billionaire, keep quiet. But
it's not about him. It's about he was upset that the fans are getting screwed over.
That's what I was just going to say. That if you knew accepting that, which way you explained it, Ray, is crystal clear. If you took the free ticket, you had to go to one of those games. If you couldn't go to one, just take the complimentary one for a later game.
Right.
Leave the free one for those who can go.
Exactly.
And that's a lot. Almost
58.
That's a big percent, man. Look, all right, I can't be mad at him, especially because he's defending the fan who couldn't go to the game because you.
Yeah, it didn't mean anything to him because it's free.
It was already paid for it. What does he care? I mean, 1,000 tickets anyway.
No. He's just trying to get asses in the seat so the ballpark isn't empty because of the time change.
He ingratiated himself to his fans because I bet you there were a lot of fans who probably didn't get that free ticket because they were somebody took it, claimed it.
Right.
And when they probably saw 58%, they were probably pissed off.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows if they didn't voice it to the Mets PR team, when you called the customer service, and that somehow made its way to Cohen, and Cohen is basically telling, I feel your pain, and you guys were right. People shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. I mean, that's messed up. And if you're one of the people that did that, then shame on you. You shouldn't.
It's a
very expensive to go to games as it is, and a family of 4 could have gone to a game, enjoyed it, taking the day off and seen it,
Right.
That's messed up.
That's a great because they were talking about it on the radio. A family of 4 to any game is you talk tickets, parking, gas, over $1,000. So 4 people could have got comp tickets.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And for all the people who might respond to say, well, what if someone got sick? Of course, there might
but it's not 58%.
Not 58% of you didn't have a problem. I mean, save that story or somewhere else. For a handful, 1-2% maybe. The rest, you just.
It could have been scalpers also. It could have been people that bought it to sell it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's another one.
Shame in them all.
Shame on it. And I wonder. I don't even know if there's a way to stop that, but that's good for Cohen.
They could try
knowing the whole story. Good for Cohen. I like that he did.
Now that they did it once, they could think about maybe ways of just fine tuning it so they can get more people to actually appreciate.
This would have been Hal's response. Hal, what do you think of that?
Yeah,
that would have been it. A shoulder shrug. He would have had no words.
Well, Hal would have been like, "Well, we made extra popcorn and hot dogs, so we lost money."
Yeah. All right, so let's finish up our last segment, Around the Horn.
Go for it. Go ahead, Carl.
Around the Horn. Are we going to start off with the fight of the week, the thriller there?
Yeah, you got to start with the baseball.
We got a whole new fighting system now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, yes, we do. Yeah, I don't even know what he calls it yet, but it's this move, which I call placada en la cara, because Lopez hit Soler in the face with the baseball.
With the baseball.
He never let go of the ball or took off his glove. He's like, fuck. I'm sorry. He's like, F that. Yeah. You know, you're 6'3", I'm 6'1".
Yeah, you see his size of Soler, you might want to have to hit him.
Yeah, Soler's a big man.
Yeah. Like that guy has no body fat. That guy's a big guy.
But he hits, and he apparently owns Ronaldo Lopez.
Oh yeah,
he hits over 600 against.
I'm sorry, I had another visual.
Here we go. There it is.
Right.
Ball in hand, Ray. You see the ball?
See it?
Yep.
Bam.
Blacada.
And he catches him. He catches him flush. Yeah. And it didn't. Here's what's scary. It didn't seem to phase Soler at all. If I'm Lopez, I'm like, wait a minute.
No.
The jaw with the ball.
And so the side stories there are that Soler used to play for the Braves, and he was very familiar with many of the Braves players, and that's why if you saw it was the Braves players that held Soler back for the most part, and calmed him down.
Or tackled him.
No, wait.
No, that's the other story.
Wait. This is that story. This is that story.
Walt Weiss is the one that tackled him, the manager of the Braves.
62 years old.
The Jeff Van Gundy of managers.
62 years old, but he has a black belt, my understanding.
I don't care. He's still, so there's the Hulk. I don't care.
He used it well because he took him down quite.
He took him down. Well, listen, you can take down anybody if you just grab their legs. I don't care how big they are. But
no. He grabbed them quite definitely.
Unless their name is VAR and played in the softball team back in the 1990s with the Kings of Swing. That's an inside
One thing
story.
I did notice, who was
maybe I'll share with that.
Who pushed? I think he pushed Lopez. It was Trout. If you notice, Trout was not in the fray.
Yeah, Trout's a big guy too. He had Lopez.
He was
at Lopez. Yeah.
Basically, like, look, stay here. He's going to kill you if you get into that mix.
Yeah,
let him go. But you always know. A lot of times you notice that. There's the famous brawl I think the Yankees had with Seattle, where was it? A-Rod and Jeter were standing off to the side, kind of yucking it up, and Chad Curtis had a problem with that. It's like sometimes it's almost like the slam dunk contest. None of the stars join up when there's a brawl. I want to see the stars throwing hands. Let's go.
It's funny, and it's funny you say
AAA guys going at it.
You want to see something? You want to see something with Strawberries and Yankees? He goes into the other dugout.
That is my favorite. It is not the most violent. That is my favorite.
Yeah, you're not hiding in the dugout. I'm coming after you in the dugout.
What a teammate! I always
love that. The great part about that is the camera angle, because the camera's in that area, and all of a sudden you just see Strawberry flying from camera right.
And who's the one that stopped him in the dugout to push him back? Was Torrey. Torrey was the one that got into the.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was Torrey.
I'm almost positive it was Torrey.
Torrey should not have been.
And Torrey was shaken up.
Yeah,
which is interesting. Right, which is interesting because it's a guy that grew up in a family that used hands, as he writes in his book. So,
you think the trauma there?
Yeah, so he goes in there, he goes in the dugout, he's like holding Strawberry back. Hey, Strawberry's a big guy, also.
Yes.
So, but I just love the fact that like Benitez is hiding in the dugout, and Strawberry goes right into the.
I love it.
He brought his 86 Mets mentality. Like, no, I'm coming after you.
Oh, those brawls! If for those younger fans who watch it, you want to see, go to YouTube and watch the brawls from the 70s and 80s. Bud Harrelson? Was it Bud Harrelson, Pete Rose? Right?
Pete Rose, yeah.
It's immediately. It's like you look at me sideways, and they're swinging. They're not pushing. They're not shoving. They are throwing.
Was that Pinella and Fisk? Remember that Pinella slides in? Fisk,
yes. Pinella Fisk.
Oh, yeah. And let me tell you something.
Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson hits the home run, rounds the bases, and then goes after the pitcher.
Right.
It's like bring those.
Well, he's smart. He's smart. You got to go around the bases, touch the bag,
and then go. I get my run score. That was a home run. Now I'm going to get you.
The craziest one I think is Juan Marichal. They won't ever see that one where he takes the bat and he starts hitting the catcher.
Yeah. You got to. Well, he got a bad rap for that. But if you think about it, just in terms of objectively speaking, one guy uses the ball, the other guy uses
the lawyer's talking now. This is the lawyer
the
talking.
same thing. You can hit me with a 98-mile-an-hour ball in my
I'm
back.
gonna hit you with a bat.
Yeah, that's my weapon. I just remember, I don't remember who it was, but the minor leaguer years ago when he got hit and then he round kicked the catcher. Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
That was a Japanese pitcher from the Dodgers, right?
And he round kicks him. And look, honestly, if
Not
you're
Japanese,
gonna,
maybe,
I would tell
Korean.
the catcher, look, if you're a hitter, tell the catcher, if he hits me, you're closest. I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
If he hits me with that ball, I'm just gonna turn around and start beating your ass. I'm sure the catcher, look, that'll probably start a fight because that was the whole Veritek
Veritek A-Rod, where he put he mashes his face.
Yes, he mushed it because he was saying something and he got in his face.
Mashes his face and lifts him up in the air.
That's correct. Yeah, that's a bad look. You can't come on, A-Rod. You're from the Bronx.
Getting back to that Jackson fight, my favorite part of that is after he steps in home, he goes after the pitcher. I forgot the pitcher's name, but he goes after the pitcher. And it's Oscar Gamble and somebody else that literally picked Jackson up and they're walking in, and Jackson's like, yeah.
But they're carrying him, right?
They're carrying, but he's like applauding with his shirt ripped open.
All kinds of stuff.
It's like
hiding inside, and Reggie famously let go of the bat. I don't remember that one, and he aimed it right at the pitcher.
Oh yeah, I sort of remember that. Yeah,
so remember that.
Yeah.
It's like you say, look, we're not advocating fighting, but it's not fighting with it. It's like basketball. It's just pushing and shoving, and the bullpen's running, and nobody wants to be there. There's a handful of people though that do. They mix it up. Who was it? It was Rougned Odor when he two-pieced Bautista.
Yes,
at second base,
right in the face.
Yes.
Who was the other one who got knocked? It Tim Anderson from the White Sox?
Although I think that was a phantom punch. I don't know how he.
No, I think it was Jose Ramirez catches him. It doesn't look.
He does catch him.
It just shows he had a glass jaw because he dropped him with.
I've been doing for the past several weeks. I know we're going to come to an end here, but for the past several weeks, I've been ending our podcast with some video clip. And Carlos, I don't know if you saw last week's end, but I ended it with Mr. Connor Griffin.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. I got to go back and check it. Things have been crazy for me lately.
So I'll choose one of these brawls. I'll end it.
People did come at us, Carlos, for I guess making some comments about Connor Griffin getting that kind of a contract so soon, and we did get some comments basically saying, "Well, if you have a $60 million payroll and you stink, you wouldn't have a podcast either." It's like. And we went right. It's like, okay, so only the good teams.
Honestly, that one I didn't understand.
Well, think about it. What I took it was, so if we stink with a low payroll, you can't have a podcast. Well, because we're Mets and Yankee fans, and the teams are good with money. My answer was, so what you saying is, if you're an A's fan or of a supposedly bad team that doesn't spend money, you have no say. You have no seat at that's his lot. I said that's your logic, and if I'm wrong, and the guy who came at us about the Houston Astros owning the Yankees or something like that. I said, well, I think I said I'll bang
my drum that one because I'm like, okay.
No, I said I'll beat my drum to that one.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
And he didn't respond.
That's all right. Listen, we don't do the comments.
We love the comments.
But there's the only thing the comment, but there's no need to insult us. That's
but it's okay. Right, I like people to watch us, like get the feel of like we're just like we're four guys sitting in a bar or whatever.
Yeah,
there's a seat there for you. You can come in and we're just talking.
It is, but at a bar. But here's the difference, Carlos. At a bar, if you insulted us, you get clocked. So that's so don't insult us. That just don't insult us.
Sometimes, like you said, the insult. It's like I'm not sure if I get where you're going with.
And
then I've asked for clarification. Do you mean this or that? And they don't answer. It's like, we'll respond to you, but
exactly. It's just
how do we don't know? And I love Ray with when you have 32,000 people following you.
My favorite is this one guy. There's this one guy who calls us clowns all the time.
Yeah.
Why would anybody watch these clowns? Meanwhile, he watches all the time. Comment. So
hey, keep watching. Good comments, man. We want all the and look. Well, you want the comments if you're like we said earlier, if there's a point you want to bring up and you want to seriously have an actual debate, a professional
we'll debate anything.
Yeah, we're open because we're
We'll
not saying
debate
our
anything.
opinions stand all be all. It's
That's why I always thought that we should have a podcast. We do it live from a bar, and we have some people say.
Do you know anywhere in your town
just
that
to see
would
just to see who's going to show up?
Anybody in your town, Ray? Any place in your town that
I can't tell what people are from specifically. I can't even tell.
No. I think we would actually, because there's some you hear them. They post up in places in Long Island, in New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
If we tell them we're going to be, should we tell everybody? I guess we'd have to tell them.
No, I think if we did that, if we said if the four of us just wanted to go out for drinks, regardless of who shows up, and we told people, hey, we're going to be at this bar from this time to that time. Feel free to stop by. I'm sure we get some people show up.
And we'll let them know Carlos has a carry permit.
No, he has no carry permit. And no, we won't get physical with you.
We don't, no.
But if you call us clowns, we're just not going to talk to you. We're just going to.
No, if you want to debate, bring it on. We have no problem debating if you're coming from if it, like I said, you don't have to curse it. Just come from a different point of view. Maybe it's something we didn't see or think of. We have no problem with that. Exactly. But bring it on. More the merrier.
I'm trying to end it with under an hour, but it's not going to work.
It's okay. We're there.
You come on, 10 seconds, 9. Let's go.
All right. Then that means we are the Diamond Geezers, and you are not.
The second inning when the Yankees' Reggie Jackson got dusted by Cleveland pitcher John Denny. Then Reggie struck out, and tempers began to heat up. Jackson and Denny did a lot of yelling. Both benches emptied, and Reggie got carried back to the dugout. So much for that. Then in the fourth, Reggie came on back with a home run. And as he crossed the plate, Denny left the mound and headed for Jackson. That was enough for Reggie, and once again the two went at it, this time a little more seriously. Once again, both benches emptied, and once again, Reggie got carried back to the dugout. Both Jackson and Denny were thrown out of the game, which the Yankees won 6-1. Yankee owner George Steinbrenner capped off the night by saying the next pitcher to throw at one of his ball players will end up in court. Nathan Thomas, ABC News, New York.